Yo, what's up, my people? What's up, my people? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thursday, June 27th. And I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ because with him, all things is possible. This No Duck Zone episode is sponsored by Match Bout. Follow Match Bout on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Match Bout, the best sponsorship in the land. Good afternoon, my good people. What's up? What's up? Man, it's crazy out here, man. Weather's like, it ain't super hot, but it's super hot. Y'all know how that shit is, man. Oh, I gotta tell you, the type of day me and my wife had yesterday, we went out. I told this earlier, I think on IG. We went out, man, and we had a couple of margaritas last night. Boy, did we feel it or did we feel it? It was crazy. Um, but we enjoyed ourselves. Um, we didn't know before the night was up, we didn't know if we were coming or going. But the whole fact of the matter is we enjoyed ourselves, and that was the bigger picture. You know, the whole point of going out is enjoying yourself. And some of us, we have to be reminded of that we have to get out and enjoy ourselves. But of course, that's another story. Y'all know it's Throwback Thursday. Um, we have been waiting to do this one for a minute. You know, we've been waiting to do this one for a minute. I was supposed to did this a couple Thursdays ago, and I didn't get it done for whatever reason. I didn't get it done. Uh, don't kill me, but we getting it done now. So today, you know, I got to take it back on Thursdays. Aaron Pryor, Aaron Pryor. Who better to talk about, right? Because some of you guys act like you're allergic. Yeah, some of you guys act like you're allergic to old school boxing, right? Some of you act like you have to keep up with the Joneses. So when it comes to talking about old school boxing, you don't shy away from it. You don't even show it no respect. You don't go nowhere near it. You just act like the fighters that came before, the fighters that you love, didn't open the door for them, for you to like them. Some of y'all just jump on the bandwagon. That's it. That's all. Who's ever the most popular fighter is who y'all gonna be up their asses. It's okay. Yeah, I get it. I get it. But we gonna get into this boxing talk. So let's go. For all my newcomers, my regulars, everybody, welcome to the No Duck Zone podcast. Let's go. DP Rocker, what up? Mr. Gumbo, what up? Bruce Gas, what's up? Um, let me do. Oh no, I'm doing that the wrong way. I'm doing that the wrong way. Let me do something real quick here before I get this started. Give me a second, y'all. Bear with me. Bear with me. Give me a second. We gonna get this started. Um I'm gonna send some links to some people. And they could decide if they want to go on from there. Know what I'm saying? We're gonna send some joints out. You know what I mean? Um, right. Hold on. Mr. Gumbo. These are just people, you know what I'm saying? I'm just putting it out there. And y'all can help me too. I remember looking at the documentary with Aaron Pryor. And I'm gonna tell you like this though, it ain't too many people who want to smoke with Aaron Pryor. Not too many people want to smoke with him. And when I say not too many people, he was Definitely a cat that was built different and had a lot of power. They did try to question him about one fight about him might have been juicing and all that, but whatever. Uh, hey Bruce, Mr. Gumbo, I was trying to send y'all a link, but I sent Bruce it. But Mr. Gumbo on Instagram, I don't think I have you, sir. Um, I don't think for some reason I have you. All right, let's try this again. Let's try this again. So anyway, there were not too many people who wanted to smoke with him for real. I can't give you a whole rundown on him. I like to respect these fighters and what they did for the game, what they did for the sport. I try my best. It's not always about getting on here all the time and knowing everything. I try to show as much respect as I can for these guys. And that's why, I watch, documentaries. Um, I listen to stories. It's a lot of things I do on here where I can get a clear understanding of where the fighter came from. What was his life like? That's what makes these type of conversations important because it's not necessarily about you knowing everything. Now, granted, at the same time, you can't get on here talking like I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't kick my own damn self off. I just passing through family, have a lot going on right now. I'll hit the cash app. Okay, Mr. Gumbo, appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much, brother. And whatever you're going through, may God bless you and your family, man. Whatever it is, man, just make sure you let some of it, you let go and let God deal with it. Sometimes we try to get too much in control of things and we have no control of it. And sometimes it can cause us a lot of stress and a lot of aggravation. So certain things you just let go and let him deal with it. So anyway, hold on, y'all. So yeah, Aaron Pryor, born October 20th, 1955 in Cincinnati, Ohio. Wow. Ohio got a lot of dogs, man. A lot of dogs. Um, oh geez, he was the same height as me, 5'7". Ain't that something? Light welterweight, man. He was definitely something special. I wish I would have learned more about him and not saying it's too late, but I wish there was a time where I would have learned more about him. Him being having 39 wins. What's this? Maybe one loss and 35 KOs. Pretty damn impressive. That was pretty damn impressive. Uh, I remember the situation with him and Sugar Ray, and hey, I ain't calling Sugar no duck, but that wasn't the route that Sugar was trying to go. He was definitely not trying to go that route. Crush, what's up? Hold on, Crush. Let me get my guy up here. Let me get my man Crush. Give me a second. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So, Bruce Gassy, I'm sure you remember that at that time where Sugar did his best, if I'm not mistaken, to stay away from that and not want that. Um, Crush, check your Bruce Gas, check your Instagram message. Check your DM in your Instagram. I wish these idiots get from over here with all that music playing. They get on my nerve. Hold on, Crush, I got you. There we go.
What
What's
up,
going
bro?
on? Crush.
Not man, not much, bro. Chilling, man.
Hardest
Summertime.
working.
It's
You the
hot.
hardest work. You the hardest working man in the building.
Oh, thanks, man. I be trying to make it connect. You know what I mean? Trying to
Yeah,
make it
man.
connect.
What's good with you,
So
man?
so Nothing, man. I'm just tired of the same old talk, man. I'm just sick of it, man. So it's good to see a different thumbnail about somebody different. I'm sick of punk ass Devin Haney and all that bullshit crap, man. I'm
You
sick of that
know,
shit.
it's like we say. It's like I said, and I always say every day that it's a slap in the face when we can't take a day and take the time to acknowledge our fighters because nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear it, but you think talking about the same five fighters every day, somebody wants to hear that.
Nope.
So nobody wants to hear that. Are you at work?
No, bro. I'm out on the block, man. So there's a couple homies in the background,
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but so nobody wants to hear that. With
Right.
them,
Nope.
and
Nobody want.
over here it's gonna get different. Over here, we're gonna appreciate our legends. We're gonna salute them. We're gonna talk about them, and that's why I don't follow what everybody else do. Because a lot of these channels ain't doing nothing but putting me to sleep.
Hell yeah, man.
I'm getting sick of it.
Putting a lot of
So
people to sleep, bro.
yeah, so Aaron Pryor would help me out because I've done just a little bit of homework on him. But help me out. What do you remember about Aaron Pryor, and how old were you the first time you watched him?
From my latest memory, I was about maybe about 11. Probably was about 11 when I first
Okay.
seen that Aaron Pryor, and the only thing I had one word about him: animal. So I'm an
Okay.
11-year-old kid, and I see this dude kind of with the same name as Richard Pryor, kind of favor him a little bit, thinking that's his cousin or something. And I said,
Yeah.
well, damn, we got a legendary comedian, and then we got Animal with boxing gloves on, and I'm like, yo. And the first guy I seen him fight was a Spanish guy. It wasn't Alexis Aguero because that fight didn't happen yet.
Yeah.
But it was I can't remember the guy name, but I was like, anybody that gets in the ring with this dude in that weight class and one weight class up is in trouble. Um, it's sad to say, and this is always going to happen in the sport of boxing. When we talk about big names and stuff, he don't have too many big names on his resume. I mean, everybody just really talk about that one fight with Alexis Aguero. Um, but he didn't fight none of the four kings. None of the four kings fought him. There was a lot left out there for Aaron Pryor. For him to take off the plate. We didn't get to see it, but from everything that he did in the ring, he was always exciting. He reminded me of Marvin Hagler, another version of Marvin Hagler. I just think he was a little more nastier than Marvin Hagler. I think
Yeah.
Marv was a serious dude, and Aaron Pryor was just he's a his intentions is sinister evil because he always looked like he was trying to really hit you with a one punch kill. But one thing that did happen with him, but it wasn't at the professional level, was him and Tommy Hearns. You know, they sparred as amateurs. But whenever I watched him from the first time I watched him all the way up until he fought Alexis Graylow, it's a few other cats he fought whose names I can't put together right now, but I see their faces. But he was totally an animal. And my question was, yo, why he's not fighting none of these guys? And at that time, you know, just being a fresh student of the sport, I wasn't thinking about the business aspect of it. You know what I mean? So it was
Yeah,
just all action with me. How you doing, love?
yeah,
Good, good. Yeah, man, but he was a true animal. Wish his career would have been a little more longer. A lot of more people would have got to see what he was really was made of because Aaron Pryor was the animal. If he was in today's boxing, no matter if it's with the up and comings or with the OGs of the sport right now, it'd be whipping tail, man. Um, One guy that kind of resemble him a little bit, as far as style wise, but he's just not as good as Aaron Pryor. When you look at Antoine Russell, he got
yeah,
that kind of style, tenacity that Aaron Pryor had. Except for the difference between what hurts Antoine, he smothers a lot of his work because he's out of control. You know what I mean? To
yeah,
where it's Aaron Pryor, no matter how fast he was rolling with his quickness and his speed, he always had control of what he was doing. So he never really smothered his work. So when he let his hands go at high velocity, man, he was letting them go. There was no punches going to get unnoticed that he was throwing, no matter if it was three, four, five-piece combination. He didn't smother his work, and he get right at his opponent. So any guys that was competitive for him, and towards him, you got to salute those dudes because this dude was in for to kill. He didn't know anything else. I don't even remember much of this dude speaking. I don't even know if he's a baritone, an alto, or whatever, an alto or tenor or whatever, but he didn't speak much. So, those they the silent killers, and that's what I always respect about Aaron Pryor, man. He's an animal.
yeah. Bruce Gas, what's going on, brother?
What's up? What's up, guys? Clarence and Crush, how
We
we doing?
got the legend in the building. What's up,
Yeah,
OG?
yeah, 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 yeah. Welcome. I know I made it now. I got Bruce up here. I made it.
Well, Aaron Pryor, bro. I followed Aaron Pryor since the 1976 Olympics. He got beat by Howard Davis Jr. and
Mhm.
he was real mad about that. He came into the pros with a
Yeah,
he came into the pros with a chip on his shoulder.
yeah.
Now, I hear somebody talking over me, so I'm gonna,
No, go ahead.
okay. Now he came into the pros with a chip on his shoulder, and he wanted to be a lightweight, but the lightweight division was pretty frozen out. It was covered like Howard Davis Jr. was the darling of the Olympics. So at 135 he didn't have a chance. He moved up to 140. He won the title by taking out. He beat the legendary Antonio Cervantes from Colombia. I mean, this guy was one of the greatest junior welterweight champions of all time. He knocked him out. It was the start of something. And he had a big problem with drugs. Aaron Pryor was a crackhead, and if not for that, he would have achieved greater things. But he had this crazy like a windmill style, like a Henry Armstrong. He got knocked down a lot of times when I saw him. He got knocked down by Cervantes. He got knocked down by Lennox Blackmore. Duran Johnson from the Kronk Gym knocked him down, but he always got up, and he always got up with a vengeance. And he knocked these guys out, man. And he ruled 140. Alexis Aguayo at the time, he wanted to become a four-division champion, and to do that, and that was a rare thing because we're just looking at the days of the WBA and WBC. There wasn't even the IBF at the time, so it wasn't easy to become a three or four division. But anyway, Aguayo took him on, and what a fight, man! It was in 1982 November, and it was at the Orange Bowl in Florida. And man, if nobody has seen this fight, I don't know how any boxing fan couldn't have seen this fight. But they went back and forth, and that was the fight with the famous Panama Lewis had that black bottle mixed at the end of
Yeah.
the 10th round. He's like, "Give me the bottle." And no, the bottle I mixed. So people were saying that Pryor was using some kind of a PED. I don't think he ever used PEDs. Maybe he used what people gave him, like the. See, I heard that black bottle. I heard all it contained was crushed asthma medication to bronchio to clear up his freaking breathing. And I heard that for some pretty heavy guys. Leon Muhammad being one of them. But Pryor always had that on his shoulder that he was using PEDs because of Panama Lewis. But I mean he had a rematch with Aguayo. He took him out, but then his career went into a tailspin, and he was busted for the coke for the crack. He had to go into rehab. He came out of rehab, claimed he was a born again Christian, went back into rehab. He came out, and for the last, and it was years away from his prime, and he got beat by a rising welterweight who was around during Sugar Ray Leonard's days, a guy named Bobby Joe Young. He ended up knocking out Aron Pryor. That was the only time he had ever been knocked out. In fact, that was the only time he had ever been beat, and that was in the twilight of his career. He went on and fought a couple of other insignificant fights, but I mean his prime was in the early 80s, the late 70s. Aron the Hawk Pryor, bro. I mean, it was like, what time is it? Hawk time. You didn't want to hear Macho time. He wanted to hear Hawk time. He wanted to get a fight with Macho Camacho. But like I said, his career was so messed up with the drugs. And he had a manager too. His manager's name was Buddy De La Rosa from Cincinnati. And Buddy La Rosa screwed up a lot of his potential fights. Like he had a contract to fight Leonard, but Buddy La Rosa wanted more money on the contract. So, Sugar Ray's people said nope, and that fight never happened. And it's a shame. But Aron Pryor, man, it was the drugs that did him in. Great fight. I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit about him with your Clarence and my brother Crush. And I got things I got to do. Awesome coming on.
When the drugs kicked in, was he still fighting, or did that come after?
He was boxing.
He was doing it.
Why was boxing? I want that.
Okay. Oh wow. So did that? Anyone can ask. Did it also play a role in how he performed?
I don't know about that. See, coke is a weird drug. It affects different people differently. I think it amped up Pryor. I think maybe it affected him. Maybe it made him crazier. Could be. They weren't testing for drugs a lot back in those days. That was the early 80s.
Facts. No,
Yeah.
take that one, dude.
That's
right.
that's got to be a lot to deal with, because a lot of people didn't know probably at that time that he was even on it. So they just probably thought that, hey, this guy's a killer. He's crazy. I'm not trying to fight him, and if I can avoid him, I'm going to avoid him.
Oh yeah,
So
he had demons. He had demons around him. It was a tough career. He passed away just a little while ago.
That nigga went on a.
yeah, hold on.
Right.
I gotta mute you. Yeah, please. Yeah.
Crush is on the streets, baby.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. He's in the neighborhood, man. Crush is very famous in the neighborhood. Wasn't it supposed to have been a time him and Sugar Ray he wanted to get it on with Sugar Ray?
Yeah, you see, when Sugar Ray Leonard came back, he fought Kevin Howard, and he found out he had a detached retina, and he retired. And his next fight was supposed to be Aron Pryor, but like I said earlier, his manager Buddy La Rosa, he wanted to have his hands in everything, and he wanted more money for Pryor. It really came down to the money, and the fight was never made. But once again, it was because Sugar Ray Leonard had a detached retina. He took many years out of his career, where a Pryor fight definitely would have been made.
Yeah. Stormy B, man, what's going on, Sensei? Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, when I started hearing stories on him, and I wish I would have learned about him sooner. I would hear his name pass around, and I used to be like, yeah, all right, well, because back then I really didn't want to learn about it. I just was comfortable with the fighters I was familiar with. And then I watched this little, I don't know if it was a documentary, but it was something like that where they were talking about him. And I'm like, yo, this dude was something different. And
He
even
had a
when,
he had a
hmm?
chip on his shoulder. He had a chip on his shoulder coming out of
Yes,
the Olympics. He was outshined by Sugar Ray Leonard, by Thomas Hearns, and like you said, he never fought the Four Kings because that wasn't his weight class. But he had an attitude, man. He was a mad fighter. Even when the fights were over, he'd want to continue. He wasn't a shake hands, hug kind of a guy. He had demons, and I mean, he was a great fighter to watch. You go watch some of his fights. You watch that Dewan Johnson fight, the Antonio Cervantes fight. That was Pryor at his best, man. At 140, nobody's going to touch him. But like I said earlier, he was doing the crack all the time, so he was very erratic. And you could hit him, he'd get back up again. Some people said that, because of all the drugs that he was on, he didn't feel the pain. But I mean, he
yeah,
was a great fighter to watch. Definitely Hall of Fame worthy.
yeah. That had to be scary because you didn't know what he was on or what his intentions were, but all you knew is that hey, this guy is coming to fight, and he's willing to die in this ring, and every time you see him fight, he's going to give it his all. For somebody who doesn't understand that, it's scary for them. It's scary for them because they like, wait a minute, man, this guy's is something wrong with him, man. You know what I mean? But like you said, he was not only battling with demons, but I guess fighting was the way to get it off his chest. That's that's gotta be scary. But when was the first time, Bruce? Do you remember the first time you watched him, and who was it against when the first time you watched him?
Oh, damn. I used to watch clips of him when he came out of the Olympics. See, back in '76, boxing was big. ABC's Wide World of Sports. They were behind the U.S. Olympic team in Montreal, and Pryor was an alternative. He didn't make the team, but he was touted as he should have made the team. So it was I watched him right from the beginning. As far as the names go, the first name I can remember seeing him would be would have to be uh, like Norman Goins. I'm looking through BoxRec now, but I remember when he fought Norman Goins, who was a perennial contender, and they would show highlights of him on the Saturday afternoon Sports Spectacular. But I mean,
Hmm.
he was fast rush to the 140 title, and Antonio Cervantes was a legend too. This wasn't just an interim email champ. This was a legend. This was a guy who was
Yeah,
a two-time, I believe, 140-pound champ. And I mean, Pryor was something special. Crazy man. I don't think you'll see a fighter like Aaron Pryor around. I mean, I'm trying to think of who he reminds me of. And it's really, I mean, unless you think of people like Henry Armstrong, unless you go back in those days, Pryor was different. He didn't have a classic style. He rush you. He'd be wide open. He'd get knocked on his ass, and he'd get back up, and he'd win the fights. And like I said earlier, he only lost late in his career after coming back from the coke addiction, the alcoholism, and he lost to Bobby Joe Young, and that was his only. He pretty much got stopped. But Aaron Pryor in his prime, unbeatable.
yeah. Um, and I wish he would have got the fights that we wanted to see him in. I mean, what I mean, do you ever saying when you see how his career went that there was a lot of guys out there that just didn't want no parts of him for whatever reason.
Oh yeah, well, at 135, Howard Davis wanted no part of him. Howard Davis was the media darling. Even at welterweight, Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas Hearns. Thomas Hearns got
Mhm.
actually got beat by him in the amateurs. He beat Thomas Hearns. So Hearns was
Wow,
weird with him. And
wow,
and, those were the big names. Those were the $1 million names. But I mean, he got Alexis Aguayo, and those fights, those the one fight was fantastic. The rematch, not so much. Aguayo pretty much you know, got beat before the bell rang. But the first fight, back and forth action. Aaron Pryor took some straight right hands from Aguayo that would take they were like Deontay Wilder right hands, and Aaron Pryor shook him off, came back and stopped Aguayo. But
yeah,
Aaron Pryor is a great fighter. Good guy to talk about, and anybody who hasn't watched Aaron Pryor, definitely go and check him out.
Yeah, like I said, the clips and videos that I've got to glance at and seen them, and I said, you know what? I always do these throwback Thursdays, and I'm like, I was supposed to talk about them actually a couple weeks ago, and it got canceled due to whatever I had going on. I didn't never do it, and I said, you know what? If I think people will be interested in that, and if you grew up watching them and you know about them, then that wouldn't be an issue. We're talking about them, so and just like a lot of old school throwback fighters, I'll talk to next. I'm already working on somebody for next week, so it's important for people like you and Crush to be a part of these conversations because you guys were around at this time and you guys got to sit in your living rooms and watch this guy be great, no matter what type of drug he was on or what he was doing. Because to be honest with you, it ain't too many fighters that weren't on something. If they wasn't on a drug, they were on a steroid. They were on something. And for some of us, we didn't find out until later on that, oh God, I never knew that's what he was on. And then we started feeling a little different about them. Like, well, I would say he would go in the Hall of Fame, but he was a drug cheat. And I'm like, well, I mean, you can use that, but will that stop him from getting into the Hall of Fame? Did Aaron ever get into the Hall of Fame?
I believe he is.
Okay, okay, and I believe he deserved it. Now, a lot of people are not going to agree with that because, like I said, they bring up the drugs, and I'm like, well, how many? I mean, if we honestly, Bruce, if we use that, you know how many people wouldn't go to the Hall of Fame?
Oh, I mean, the Hall of Fame is very watered down now. Anyway, I think the judges are not. They're all new age judges. They don't seem to look at boxing like you're looking at in the historic sense. If you were born after 2000, it's almost like you're not even considered for the Hall of Fame today. But Aaron Pryor, he was inducted in 1996 and 1990. He was inducted in 1999. So yes, he is definitely in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. But
He deserves.
today's the anniversary of a great fight, man. Mike Tyson
Yeah.
and Michael Spinks, 1988 on this day, bro. It was an amazing night.
Oh Lord, you know what? I think Bruce, you just gave me something. I think Spinks will be the talk next week.
There you go.
Yeah,
Hey, play your cards right. You might be able to get him on here for an interview.
you just gave me something for next week, man. You know what? Yeah, because I try to go to different eras, and I try to go back as far as I can, and that's the great thing about YouTube because I get to sit, Bruce, in my house, and I get to just put up old fighters, and I get to look them up. I never got to talk about Larry Holmes. I would love to do that. So there's a busload of fighters that I want to actually get to. Hector Camacho. It's so many different ones, that I'm definitely going to get to. But yeah, what do you think? If Crush, if you're still there, if you're somewhere where it's quiet, I want you to participate in this too. Where do you
What up?
think where do you think Aaron Pryor would be ranked today? A young Aaron Pryor that was around then, what would you think he would be ranked today? And how many people you think in his division would be ducking him?
Most of those guys would be ducking him. The guys at 140 right now, most of them would not be taught. Teofimo Lopez would not even be trying to create any type of clout chasing because that man would come to his house and beat him up because he was that type of guy, sort of attitude he had. He definitely be pound. Um, Only going by the true science of boxing, what pound for pound really is, and not making pound for pound, giving it your own definition. This is wrong with pound for pound. He'll terrorize those guys. None of those dudes at 140 would give him a goddamn run.
Mm, wow. Uh, Bruce, what do you say?
Ooh, I mean,
All this what was making this was one of the most intriguing things to watch about him. So being like a 10, 11-year-old kid and seeing this man with this tenacity, men was of men back then. So he'd definitely be in the top 10. He probably had two of those belts at 140 right now. He running through all the title holders at 140. Isaac Cruz would be or he's tailor made to get effed up by Aaron Pryor. Because you know Isaac Cruz come and he got enough power to put you down, but not really to put you out. And Aaron Pryor, he just game. He's like the Undertaker, man. He's getting up, and then he's going to commence to changing the narrative around. So
Yeah, yeah.
like they talk
At
about every
140 today, he beat these 140 champions up today. Devin Haney wouldn't last 5 rounds with Aaron Pryor. Silvio Matias, he'd run around for a few rounds. He'd try to slug it out. He'd get knocked out. Triple Cruz, that would be good for as long as it lasted. But man, the windmill Aaron Pryor, he's just too much. He's just so unorthodox. He got so many different angles, and plus he has amazing power. I don't think anybody at 140 would hang with Aaron Pryor. In fact, as far as the 140-pound division goes, there's a good argument that Aaron Pryor could be the greatest 140 pounder of all time, bro.
So it's safe to say
he
that
definitely would have been running through these guys.
so it's safe to say that Aaron Pryor will be the boogeyman of his division.
Yes, easy.
Because
Easy.
we have to remember the
It would
boogeyman.
take a
The boogeyman is not somebody that is always getting called out. The boogeyman is somebody that ain't nobody's mentioning his name. They're not even trying to go his direction. It's like whenever an
right.
interview even brings up the fighter goes like, why would I want to fight him? You know what I'm saying? So nah, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's not the guy that they want. So I think some people need to be reminded of that too. If a fighter name is getting mentioned, he's not the boogeyman.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you, man.
Yeah. I think Aaron, yeah, you know, and from his behavior too and how he acts, yeah, rather if he was on a drug or not, it's not too many guys that would have said, yeah, I'll take him. I'm daring to be great. Give me Aaron Pryor. I'm daring to be great. No.
I think the only cat would have been crazy enough to get in there with him, and I'm only saying it because this guy's so jittery, goofy, and throwed off is Ryan Garcia. He's one throwed off young man. Say what you want to say about him. He's throwed off. That's what's wrong with Ryan Garcia. He's throwed off. He's been a throwed off guy. The money's just showing who he really is, who he always been. But Ryan Garcia probably would have been the only one that's crazy enough that said, "Yeah, I'm gonna get in the ring with this guy."
I mean, at 40, you and Bruce answer this for me. At 40, what would a fight look like with Aaron Pryor and Gervonta Tank Davis at 40? What would that look like?
Ooh, let me go first because I know the OG is going to break it down even more thorough than I am.
Yeah.
Gervonta Tank Davis and Aaron the Hawk Pryor at 140 would be two let's say two puppy cane corsals that's fighting over territory. There's only one bowl, it's not two bowls, and the one that beats gets to eat. It would be mano a mano. Tank with his IQ, he have to start a little sooner than what he does. What's going on, bro? I think that's something that people get mixed up because they think he only can start slow. I think Tank would be even more dangerous if he jumped on guys a little sooner. See, that's the same thing they used to say about Mayweather once he got past the pretty boy era. Because in the pretty boy era, you jump on you. But just imagine Tank Davis and Aaron the Hawk Pryor. And these guys, because Tank is going to have to, his IQ is going to have to be on Elroy Jetson speed because he's going to have to get busy right there because Aaron Pryor, he stays on top of you. He come with tenacity, evil intentions. He stays busy, a lot of strip, a lot of herb behind it, and just speed and power. So yeah, you might as well just get him for a slugfest, man. And we just gonna throw these bowls like the Ludacris song, and that would be an amazing fight. that fight would have to be a trilogy, in my opinion. Unless those two men say, "Man, we beat up on each other enough. We need to say some for everybody else." I think they would probably had as many fights as Manny Pacquiao and my man Marquez, because that was a series that we never got tired of. And two, was no need to see it anymore. Marquez finally got the knockout over Manny. That would be a hell of a fight. That would be fight of the year, probably fight of the decade. Who would win that fight? Honestly, I don't know, because either one of these guys could win. Aaron Pryor can F up my man Tank Davis, and Tank Davis can F up Aaron Pryor. Can't get no fairer and realer than that, but that is something of a fantasy match I would love to see.
Bruce.
Yes. Crush. It definitely sounds like it would go like that. I mean, this is a perfect fight. I see Pryor coming in, trying to storm Tank Davis. Tank using his boxing skills. I can see him knocking down Aaron Pryor a couple of times, maybe 2 or 3 times in this fight. But see, Pryor just had that will to get up and win and swarm you. And I don't know if Tank will be able to handle that in the later rounds. Like you look at Aguayo nailed, he nailed Tank, he nailed Aaron Pryor with some tremendous right hands. But Pryor in the late rounds, I don't know if it's that black bottle or what the hell it was, man. But if he would have come back, and once again, it's just going to be a 12-round or a 15-round fight. See, Pryor had that ability, 13, 14, and 15. We don't know if Tank has had that. Tank's never been there. Tank's never had to prove himself in those kind of fights where where Pryor was just a dog. He didn't know how to quit. He just you'd have to tase him. You'd have to hit him with a baseball bat. I mean, you'd have to be maced, handcuffed. Pryor was. He was not going to die. So I think Pryor would win in the later rounds. If it was a 12-round fight, maybe not. But man, what a great fantasy fight, though, man. What a great one. I'd love to see that fight.
Yeah, we're probably the closest we get to seeing that happen is in the video game.
Hey, listen, I'm going to jump off. I appreciate you having me on.
Oh yeah, or Undisputed.
Yeah, thank you, brother Bruce. Appreciate
Bruce Gas,
you so
I'll
much.
see you the next time you set up, bro.
Absolutely, Crush. Peace.
Peace. Thank you, my brother.
Hey, yeah, y'all make sure y'all check out Bruce Gas, man.
Go
he
subscribe.
He does a great thing real quick. I'm gonna plug Bruce Gas in real quick. Yeah, he does his boxing quiz, man. Oh, y'all gotta check it out. If your boxing knowledge is up, and even if you're just learning, he does it once a week. I can't remember which day, but Bruce, you can tell him what day in the chat that you do your boxing trivia, man. It'd be awesome, man. And guys be over there putting their boxing wits to work, baby. So salute to the OG for keeping the old school boxing alive, and salute to my brother C-Man Ruffin for bringing back the names of these guys from the old school instead of keeping it new school, which is somewhat fool school because new school don't know enough yet. So it's good to bring back these names because these fighters was here before the fighters that we watch now, and I think some of them need to go back and use some of these fighters as their study to help them out in their career.
Yeah, we're gonna actually Crush, you gotta be here next week. So I think next week what we'll do is we'll do the Spence brothers, both of them next week.
The Spinks? Oh yeah, that's gonna be nice. Mike and Leon Spinks.
Yes, next week, baby. Crush, you gotta love me.
Yes, that's gonna be dope, man. Yeah. Got to, bro. Got to. I'm excited for that. We get to be talking about Leon and Michael Spinks next week, bro. So man, that's gonna be dope.
Man,
I might even over the weekend I'll probably go back and watch about 2 fights of those guys.
Dudes gotta stop. The dudes gotta stop acting like they're allergic to these names, and and I don't wanna. Nobody cares, and nobody cares. But half of the fighters y'all talk about, even though they're today fighters, nobody cares. Nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't act like these guys don't exist. I don't care if they fought 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 35 years ago. You understand what I'm saying? Don't forget the men who opened the door for the men that you love today. Everybody has opened the door for somebody. You just can't brush him off, because when your favorite fighter is done and he's not fighting anymore, it's gonna be the same thing. You know what I mean? You gotta appreciate. You can't do that. And when I see that, that just makes me sick. It makes me sick when I see that. You know what I mean? Some of y'all just like, I don't get it. Y'all act like y'all favorite fighters are the only ones that matter, and that's it. You can't do that. You can't. And I love having, bringing you up here and bringing Bruce up here was to help me out, not help me out do this live, but get me to get a clear understanding of what his life was like. Like, we all can go to YouTube and put up a video. That's cool and all. But sometimes I like hearing it from the people who grew up watching. You know what I'm saying? Because this might be something that you can mention that they don't mention in the documentary. And then I'm like, oh shit, well, I didn't know that. I didn't hear them mention that. So, when I bring brothers up here, it's always an honor and pleasure. I love doing it. I love doing it, and it helps me out because you're never too old to learn anything. And having these conversations about these throwback fighters is something that it is never going to go away. It just doesn't go away like that. That don't happen. And we're going to continue to have more conversations like this, rather who wants to hear it or not. Nobody's forced to have to listen to something that they don't want to listen to. That this is the reason why they got different stuff on TV. Y'all got stuff that y'all can go watch. Y'all don't have to sit here and listen to it. If you want to hear about Tyson Fury and Ryan Garcia and Canelo all day, then well, let me not go over here to his channel, because we're not going to hear that, especially not all day. That's no way in God's name that's going to happen over here, not on my watch. So if you can't respect that we have these conversations for these legends, that means you don't give a damn about them. Oh, I like them, but what do you think about Ryan Garcia's suspension? I don't give a damn about it. Or him. I don't care. I don't too much care for cheats. I don't get no appetite for cheats. So therefore I don't care. And I always have to announce that, because there's always somebody who feel like that's necessary to bring that up. And it's not necessary to bring that up, because at the end of the day, who gives a damn? I'm going to continue to keep having these old school conversations. You know what I'm saying? Bringing these legends up, and I got the rest of this year to do it. I got a list of people, not just black fighters, but fighters. Rather if they're Mexican, Puerto Rican, Cuban, Italian, Irish. I got a couple of them that I'm going to be bringing to the table. Crush, what up?
Oh,
So yeah, you know what I'm saying? We working, man. I'm probably gonna go in here and watch a couple of Aaron Pryor's fight. I've watched this stuff before, but I'm probably gonna go in and watch again. And Spinks Brothers, like I said, I'm getting ready. I'm gonna actually set the live up for next Thursday. I'm gonna probably set it up now, so everybody will have that. I might have to make that maybe a little later. I don't know if I make it at 4:15. I might, depends on how many people can join. I might go ahead and make that. Crush, what's up? What's going on though, man? Crush might be stuck in some. Okay, well. Anyway, anybody who came through, I hope you heard all that about the late great Aaron Pryor, man. Good guy. We're not gonna look at somebody from the negative side because we hear that they was on drugs and whatever the case may be. Nobody in boxing is ever perfect, and people have their flaws. It is what it is. And you just live and learn from it. But when you can have these stories like this, it's always great, man. It's always great to have these type of conversations, and I love it. And like I said, we want to make it fun on here so we can be able to have more conversations like this. Give me a second, y'all. Somebody.
I'm back, bro.
No, it's all good.
I had to talk to one of the elders in the neighborhood real quick.
Yeah, it's all
You
good.
know,
No, it's all
when
good. We
she
got to
started
give our elders.
talking,
Yeah, we got to give our
yeah,
elders.
she was talking good.
We got to give our elders. We got to give our elders the respect. We we got to do that. There's no getting
Right,
around that.
right.
There's no getting around
Yep.
that. Yeah, but so like I was
No getting
explaining to
around it,
them,
bro.
yeah, like I was explaining to the people about there's nothing wrong with having these conversations because do you know how many people you can get back into boxing by just having these type of conversations, even if they don't know today's fighters? You got people that were in high school or middle school or maybe college
No,
when these fights was going on. So you bring back so many memories of what people were doing when these fights was going on. That's why these conversations are important. They're very important to have. You know what I mean?
right.
And we bring up some dope fighters, man. You know, like come on, man. We got the Spinks brothers. Y'all telling me y'all ain't nobody's a fan of the Spinks brothers? Come
Man,
on,
I
man.
mess with both for the Spinks brothers.
Come
Leon and
on, man.
Michael. I used to call them
Come
the
on,
goalie
man.
twins because they
Come
ain't
on.
had no teeth in their mouth. You know, like
We
hockey
talking
players. So I used to
we
call them
talking
the
about
goalie twins. And they were some
we talking
boxing
about
dudes, man.
hey, you know what? I need to reach out to Corey, man. I need to get to Corey Spinks, man. I'd love for Corey to come up here.
Corey
Word up.
Spinks a dope dude, man.
Word up. He is. I seen him. Yeah,
I,
yeah, man. You know what, man? I think I'm gonna go ahead and work on that, bro. I think I'm gonna go ahead and
yeah,
work
work
on
on
that,
that. Let's
man.
get Corey up there,
I
man.
think I'm gonna go ahead
It'd
and
be
work
nice
on
to
that.
have Corey, his dad, and his uncle up there, man. That'd be dope.
Man,
Or whoever you could get. But Corey is nice, man. He had a nice career.
even if I just got Corey, it's all good. Just to hear some
Yeah, that's
stories
dope
and
enough. Yeah, yeah.
that would be
Oh
dope,
yeah.
man. Listen, but this is what we can't be afraid. We can't be afraid to do that. We can't be afraid to make moves like that. What the hell are we
No,
calling
no, we
ourselves?
can't.
What the hell are we calling ourselves content creators for? And what are we creating? What are we doing? What are we doing? Because we too busy
Right.
trying to please. We're too busy trying to please people with today's boxing. Well, if I talk about this,
Yeah.
man, I might not get that many views if I talk about this today, man. I don't give a damn about that. You have to create a place and a space where people could be like, yo, that is dope that they're over there
Yeah,
doing
we
that.
need to be
Let
talking
me tell
about
you.
we need to be talking about Donald Curry. We need to be talking about Beast Magami, Livingston Bramble, Boom Boom Mancini. It's so
Woo.
many fighters to talk about. One of the craziest Mexican fighters. He's one of my favorites of all time. My man Jorge Paez, who came from the clown business. Oh, and let's
Yeah.
go on and on. Talk about Hector Camacho, who I didn't like too much, to be honest with you. He was a hell of a fighter, but I didn't like him too much because I still felt as though that there was a lot of great talent there. Hector Camacho did not fight, and even with some of the big names, he fought them late. Like nigga, you fought Sugar Ray when Sugar Ray wasn't nothing but sugar. He wasn't even sugar no more. He was sweet and low, goddamn. And you did that to him. You should have been
Yeah.
trying to fight that man up years ago. It would have been different results. So he's a guy that I'm really critical about because even though he fought a lot of opposition, but he ain't fight a lot of dogs either. So some of them dogs he passed by. So these are the things we need to talk about because boxing is so deep, man. We got to bring up uh, um, what's the kid name? Terry Norris, his brother Orlin Norris, who's fighting as a cruiserweight and a heavyweight.
Yeah.
Simon Brown. You know what I'm saying? Marlon Starlin. All
Marlon
these guys. These
Sterling.
guys got great
Yeah.
stories. Talk
Um,
about Roger Mayweather. You know what I mean? Rocky Lockridge, man. There's so much to talk about, man.
let me do
So much
one
to talk
on
about.
Oliver McCall. I got a couple of them. I'm going to do something on him.
Oliver McCall gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to a lot of that. And like I said, I have no shame in what I do. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm not worrying about, nobody's going to be looking into that. If I sat here and worried about nobody looking into it, I wouldn't be able to do a damn show because I'd be too busy worrying about pleasing people. And that's why I'm not worrying about pleasing people. You know what I mean? You're not gonna get that over here, man. What
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna get is the real. And these type of conversation, it wakes people up. It wakes people up where they go, man. Now that's my kind of talk,
Right.
youngin. That's my kind of talk, youngin. And I don't mind that. I don't mind somebody saying, yeah, youngin, I want to come up here and and I don't have a problem with it as long as they keeping it respectful. You know what I'm saying? These type of conversations are needed because
Mm-hmm.
this is history. And the problem is we're not teaching history. We're not teaching it, and that's the problem.
Right.
Everybody has opened up the door for somebody. For somebody. We can't act like today fighters are just the greatest fighters in the world.
Right.
That's it. That's it. That's all that matters. Oh, this one couldn't hang in this one era. This one couldn't do this. This one's the greatest fighter to slice bread. I think not. I think not. And if we don't start
Right.
teaching history
Mm-hmm.
and how all this works, we're gonna have a lot of people running around confused, man. They're thinking they know about the sport and they don't, man. Because you're not teaching them right. You're not teaching them
They really
history.
don't.
They don't. That's why the sport of boxing is so jacked up. The sport is not so much jacked up. The people who think they know it are the jacked up ones. You can't tell them nothing. You can't have an argument and debate with
Mm-hmm.
them. And even when they wrong, they won't even admit that they wrong. They won't do it. They'll still try to find a way to argue with you. I don't get it. So when it's like that, I'm like, you know what? Y'all allowed to think whatever it is that you want to think. Go ahead, because it doesn't matter what anybody
Yep, give it
say.
to them.
You are going to think whatever it is
Mm-hmm.
that you think, and it's just crazy, man. I never could understand it, but
Me, but
we got to
man,
keep
me.
doing. We got to keep doing what we do. We got to keep doing what we
Exactly.
do.
Yep. You got to keep
We
on.
can't. Yeah, we got to keep on doing it, man, because that's what we do. Everybody else gets to do what they do, but then we have to do what we do, and we got to keep these type of conversations going, and we can't let these conversations die out. We can't allow people to put us in places and spaces where we feel uncomfortable about addressing these fighters. Some fighters are here to speak for themselves. Some
Fact.
aren't. Some aren't here to speak for themselves. But rather, if they're here or not, we have to keep it going. We have to do that. And I'm sure um, if their families are around and they happen to just stroll through our pages and our channels, or somebody puts them on and say, "Yo, guess what they talking about over there?" And they just happen to go see. That's dope. That's dope because you never
Mm-hmm.
know when you see these people in person and they see you and go, "Man, you crushed the legend, man." Yeah, I see y'all over there that day, talking about Aaron Pryor. I'm his nephew, or I'm his so and so on his mother's side and father's side, and hey, I appreciate y'all, man. That was dope. We don't have to sit up here 3, 4 hours talking about these guys. We don't have to do that unless we got a panel going on like that. If
Right.
you get 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour of your time, this is what kills me about these dudes. They act like they can't give 30 minutes of their time acknowledging these fighters. Well, they're not fighters anymore. It doesn't
Right.
matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because one day your fighter that you love today, he's not gonna be fighting anymore. What you gonna say then? What you gonna say then? These fighters today are not the greatest fighters around. We're not about to act like that. I respect them for what they do because I damn sure can't get in there and do what they do.
What you like to
I ain't
do?
trying to get in there and do. I'm not trying to get in there and do what they do. But we have to show respect for the ones who opened the door. So this is the reason why every Thursday it's throwback on here. I don't know what everybody else is doing on their channels. At this point, I really could care less because I used to spend so much time worrying about what's going on in somebody else's home versus me taking care of what's going on in mine, and that makes absolutely no sense. So for that, we're gonna be over here, and this is what we're gonna be doing over here. And yeah, Spinks Brothers next week, man. So anybody's more than welcome to tune in. If you're a real boxing fan from back in the day, you're more than welcome to come through. If not, I understand. It's not for you. Everything is not for everybody. Me talking about Tyson Fury, Ryan Garcia, it's not for me all the time. Canelo, it's not for me. And I'm not going to go places where I don't want to hear their names. Wherever I don't want to hear their names, you won't see me walk over there. It's just that. Because there's no point in me walking over there and then saying, why are you talking about them? And if it's somebody else's channel, they're allowed to talk about whatever it is that they want to talk about. If you don't want to hear something, then respectfully don't go over there. Doesn't mean you have something against the person or their channel, but you have something personal with the conversation. And you're more than welcome to just not be over there. Smash my like button, y'all. Smash my like button on your way in and on your way out. Next next Thursday around the same time, 4:15. We're gonna do the Spinks Brothers. We're gonna do them, and hopefully I can work on getting Corey. So let's see. I'm gonna
get
actually,
Corey, bro.
you know what? I'm gonna be real with you though. I'm gonna actually work on that today. I'm gonna work on that today. I'm gonna see how that plays out.
Cool.
I'm Facebook. I'm friends with a couple of people that's in that circle. I'm going to reach because even if it don't, even if it doesn't happen next Thursday, if I could pick a Thursday for it to happen, cool. We'll do that because you gotta understand. Even though these guys don't fight no more, they still have lives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They still got lives and they still got things that they do. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
baby, you
So
welcome.
we're gonna definitely get that in and see how yo Crush. If we do that, you gotta pull up respectfully.
I will pull up, brother. I will pull up on
Yeah,
that,
you
man.
gotta pull up
Um,
respectfully because that one would be crazy.
hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I,
That
I
that
gotta I got something that's good to your ears, man. I gotta so I've been on Instagram and I've been talking to a couple amateurs in the city. So I got some locations I'm gonna wind up popping up on these guys, man. So you'll see me messing with some of the Philly amateurs soon, man. I love
oh
them, and
yeah, we
and crazy
coming.
part, a
Yeah.
lot of their parents I know. You know, one of my guys, I said, I ain't knew this your son. He was like, yeah, man. That's what I was trying to tell you because I know you mess with the box. And I'm like, wow, his son got a couple little belts, man. I'm going to hook it up, man, because that's where it's at. I'm worrying about the future, man. I ain't worrying about
Yeah,
these.
listen, why
Man,
you think I do what I do, man? That's why I love what I do.
exactly.
Man. I won't change it. I won't change what I do for nothing in the world. I love it. I don't do it for clout. I don't do it for money. Like when I had BBO on earlier today, we was on IG, and I let him know. Um, when people start seeing that things are not working
So,
for them on YouTube
yeah.
because they worry about getting a check from YouTube, well, before you worry about that, you got to start out doing this for the love. The money is going to come. When you just jump and rush into the money, what's going to happen is as soon as the money don't come fast enough or what you're doing doesn't move as quick as you want it to move, you're going to walk away. And then you have to ask yourself, how much did I really love it if it was that easy for me to walk away from it? You have to trust the process. This is a process. Like me getting monetized, I'm not worrying about that. You know what I'm saying? If that shit don't happen until 6 months from now, a year from now, fine. I'm not rushing for that because everybody wants to hurry up and make money from it. Cool. You can make money from it. You don't have to necessarily make money from it from your channel. You can go start merch. There's other ways you can make money from it. If you got a boxing logo, if you got a logo for your channel, take that and turn it and go get some merch. It's different ways of doing it. But if you just sitting back depending on YouTube to make money, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. And that's for anybody who's thinking about starting a channel. Know why you want to start a channel. Know why you want to do it. Don't just I need to make money. But if that's the case, UPS is hiring. If that's all you're looking for to get into YouTube,
Right.
if you're just looking to make money and you need it quick and fast, well, there's two things you know you can do when you need quick and fast money. You either can go get a regular job or you can hit the streets. And that second one is what you don't want to do.
Yep. Don't want to do that.
Ain't no future in that. So for anybody who's thinking about being a content creator, know what it is that you want to do. Don't just focus on the money. The money's going to come. You got to trust the process. It's a process and you have to trust it. Because if you don't, then what are you doing it for? I want the money too. But I know I have to trust the process. I throw my cash up here every day. You think every day something's in there? No. But when I do get something, even if it's from one person or two people, I appreciate it. Y'all think because y'all look at my social media and look at the people I know and figured your subscribers should be flooded. Your cash app should be flooded. Well, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. You have to trust the process. You got to trust the process. If you believe in a higher power and you know he has a plan for you, then you know nobody can come in between that plan. You got to trust the process. I know this was short talk on Aron Pryor. You guys probably wanted to hear more, but you know, it's really no more when the story's told. And my brothers came up here, and you know, we did a great story. I know y'all probably said, "Yo, you could have did more on him." Well, doing a little bit is better than doing nothing. And I mean, when there was nobody out there to really fight him, that wanted to fight him, it's not much of a story you can tell. That's why I always say, well, today, what do you think they would have did against Aron in his weight division? What do you think they would have did? Not much. I'm gonna do the same thing with the Spinks brothers. That's coming next week. I'm gonna do that. Yo, Crush, man, I'm gonna get up out of here, bro. Um, I got to get ready for the missus. She'll be here shortly, so I got to get ready to do what I do. Crush next week, bro. Of course, you'll see me tonight on Queens. I'm coming through tonight because I think last Thursday I don't know what I did. I don't know where I was, or maybe I fell asleep. I think so. I don't know, but I'm gonna pop up next week. I'm gonna pop up next week for it. So listen, like I said, I appreciate everybody who came in today. I love y'all. I would love to stay longer on here, trust me. But I already did a live this morning on Instagram, and that was enough right there. And then I definitely had to do this because if I didn't do this today, then I probably would have got hung for it because it was I already had waited too long to do this. But we're gonna try to get the Spinks brothers. We're not try. We're gonna do that. We're gonna definitely do that next week. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Everybody be safe, be good. We right back at it tomorrow. Matter of fact, you can catch me right back on here tomorrow. We're gonna come back here tomorrow. Guess we'll talk about T.O., Bam Bam Rodriguez. We'll get into all that tomorrow, but I'm gonna come back up here. All right, so Crush, I'm gonna see you, my guy. Be safe. You know what it is. Shouts to Philly. Shouts to 215. If y'all know what it is, it's the No Duck Zone podcast. Let's go.